real. I know the fact what people said that their wives got mad because they had a wet dream. Mm-hmm. He had to release. It's gonna release. Mm-hmm. Then if you're getting denied sex, that's when the other stuff come in, which could lead to be a problem. Masturbation. Mm-hmm. I know. It was one guy. He was telling me that he got they got married, and I think this was like one of those weddings was just. They shouldn't have been married anyway. Mm-hmm. But he said that they went to get married. They got drunk on their honeymoon. And she didn't give him none on their wedding night. Mm. So what he did?
Oh.
You know, he rubbed it out. Mm-hmm. And that's just to be real. I was like, on your wedding night? Well, you know, it's like, why do women stop producing sex like that? If it's not a problem, if it's not for marriage or something. I mean, kids or something.
Why do we stop?
Mm-hmm.
For one, it's kids. For two, I think it becomes a chore. And it's no longer about both the individuals. It's just about the man. So it becomes a chore to the woman. And I've also... Like, I watched this YouTuber, and she said about what church taught her.
What was that about?
So, when it was time for her, she still felt like somewhat embarrassed.
When it was time for her to have sex?
Yeah.
Okay.
She felt somewhat embarrassed and like she was doing something wrong because it's not taught... It's taught, but I think that it's like, you don't do this until you're married. And then when you get married, you still have that guilt. So I think a lot of women probably still have that guilt, you know, and we have to understand like the bed is undefiled, you know, so it's a lot of reasons, you know, and I think one of the main reasons is it becomes a chore.
Okay. And yeah, that's a good thing to hit on because I want to say, what makes it feel as though it's a chore?
Because all we're doing is just pleasing y'all. Because like you said, y'all need that release, and there's no romance. There's no foreplay before. It's just get her in, get her done, and that's it.
All right, this is why I counter that. And we had, all right, so when we say we be real, this being real, because we've had this conflict. Uh-huh. You said that there's no foreplay, there's none of that. Okay, it's because we have sex, right? Uh-huh. And then all of a sudden, when we want sex, it's like, and you don't see this on movies, and I know it's real life, when women will say, oh, not tonight, I'm tired. Okay, we'll give you that. Or then we'll ask maybe the next night. Then you say, well, just get it. All right, so that's problems too. Mm-hmm. Because a man just don't, not a real man, I'm going to speak for me in my experience, I just don't want to get it. No, okay, every now and then if it's just a little, you know, that's fine. But when you turn it into just get it and you're not interacting, that's what it becomes. Mm-hmm. So... if you say there's no foreplay or nothing like that, I feel like, and this is what I said, you give more emphasis to taking care, and you're supposed to take care of your kids. This is going to sound bad, but it's not. But focus time for us the way you focus time for the kids.
Yeah, well, then I have something to say against that. Mm-hmm. Y'all should help more with the kids. Then we won't be so tired or not in the mood. So, yeah. If you want to get her in and you want her to be active, help with the kids. We talked about this like a couple of episodes ago.
Right.
If I'm cooking, you help wash dishes, or if I'm cooking, you give the kids a bath, and they, you know, we help each other, you know, and that will, because instead of me cooking, washing dishes, giving the children a bath, putting them to bed, by the time I come in the room, I'm ready to take a shower.
Right. And this is a whole nother, we're going to have to talk about this again, because this is a whole nother conversation too, because you got to gauge the age of your kids.
That too, because we said this in that, I don't know which episode that was. We said that too. Women, we have to let go. when they are old enough to do, teach them.
If they're old enough to work on the tablet, doggone it, they're old enough to push a broom.
Yeah. If they're like you said, we have to teach them. We have to teach our young women and our young men how to clean a kitchen.
Right.
And because you cooking, they could clean the kitchen. And if you have a 7, I don't
8, Kaylin can wash dishes.
I mean, like whatever age they're old enough to take their own shower, 5 and up. I think 5 and up, they should be good enough to take their own shower by themselves and get themselves together. Let them do it. Kids need to be on the schedule. And like you said, you need to, what you said? Gauge the ages. Yeah. That's what you need to do. And that's why I say women, we have to let go and let these children do it. If they did it wrong, don't fuss. Come back. Let's re-examine what you did.
You ain't learn how to do everything in one day.
Right. So I said that to my oldest today. We had an event at the house, and I was like, instead of me coming home fussing about the floor not being mopped, I was like, what do you think you should have done after a big event to this floor?
Right.
And she was like, yeah, I noticed that today. I'm like, when you gonna do it? She's like, I'm gonna get it done. Okay. She gonna get it done. If it's not done by tomorrow, okay, then I feel like I have free range to fuss.
Yeah.
But we have to learn how to let go and let these kids do. And if they make mistakes, that's why we're here. We're going to teach them how to do it right.
Right. But, all right, I want to go back to one more thing you said, and then we can move on if you don't have a rebuttal. But if you do, so say so. You said this. You said, if you want to get it in. Mm-hmm. That makes sense?
Oh.
A man was most likely gonna initiate it, but sometimes that man want to feel like you're interested in him too. He shouldn't have to always initiate. He shouldn't have to always do that. Show him interest, because when you don't show that man interest, like when I felt you weren't showing me interest, I felt like, well, it don't matter.
Yeah.
Then it felt like, well, if she don't want to show me no interest, then I will just get it. You know, why should I have to take my time if you're not showing me interest, if you're not coming on to me, if you're not flirting with me and pursuing me as well? A man need that. We might not say it, but it's like, this go back to me always saying like everything revolves around the man chasing the woman. The woman should chase the man too. You know, y'all should show interest in your husband, because even though men deal with insecurities different, it still feel good for your wife to say you look good. Not only when you dressing up or to go somewhere, but it feel good when you come in the house and make your husband feel like something. You have to make us feel that way too, because if you don't, somebody else will. And I'm not using that as like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not using that in a threat, but all it takes is for someone else to throw that hint to your man.
And trust me, they out there.
Yeah, they out there.
And vice versa.
Right. So I just wanted to say that, because these are accounts of men in their what they wish they would have done. So that's why I'm saying a man needs that. That's me being vulnerable, saying, I need you to pay me attention. I need you to initiate sex sometimes. Let me know you still interested in it. You have anything to say about that?
No, I agree. I agree with you.
Okay, so another point they made was, I wish I owned less useless crap.
No, don't read down. Read this one.
Oh, I wish I'd listened to my friends?
Yeah, only because this person was from Florida.
Oh, all right. I wish I'd listened to my friends. For the longest time, my close friends had kept asking me if I was sure about marrying my ex-wife. They knew I loved her, but they just weren't sold on her as a person. They're all great guys, though, so their concerns were always voiced very tactfully and caringly. I was so smitten, though, that they went in one ear and out of the other. About 3 years into our marriage, I found out that she was cheating on me, and it ended. They warned me about it, too. Not specifically, just reasons they had to suspect something wasn't right. They put up with her because they knew how I felt, so it was totally on me for being too dumb to listen.
What's your thoughts on that?
I think that you do have to pay attention to the signs and the writing on the wall. I think if they're your true friends, it's going to be hard for them to tell you. But you gotta, I think sometimes you're just not going to hear it. Mm-hmm. You know, and it depends on, to me, it's like this. It depends on how it comes from you. Mm-hmm. If you say it in a way that it sounds like you just saying something, I ain't listening. But if I know that you going through the same thing you telling me about, then I'm thinking you hating. Because that happened in the past relationship. I knew this dude girlfriend was cheating on him. He knew it too. Mm-hmm. But then it was like he was telling me about something that about the person that I was with. Oh. That makes sense? Mm-hmm. So I'm like, you just want me. I don't believe you. Why would you tell me this if you know you in this position and you're doing nothing about it? Mm-hmm. So, you know, but I don't know. I think that
it's a tough situation.
Some people not gonna hear it though, because I know this one guy, and I knew this guy since a kid, and this was when I was out there in the world thugging. His girlfriend tried me. I actually had a few choice words for her, and you know, they were harsh too. Don't try me like that, because I know this man. Me and this man ride places together. I'm not finna. I don't play that game. And honestly, he had several people tell him. I'm talking about lifelong friends tell him what was going on, and he looked at us and said he didn't believe it. So there's nothing that you could do with a person like that.
No, that's why I say it's a tough situation. You have to. It's tough for both people. It's tough for the person that you're telling, and it's tough for whoever's telling, because you know that you're probably gonna lose a good friend. It's gonna be some issues. It's just gonna be a lot. You know, this heifer that came and got in the way with her little sneaky ways, and it's just tough.
Well, see, this is the thing too, and I'm very particular about certain things, but I know for a fact I'm not letting a man stay at my house and I work at night.
Okay. Why you say that? Where that come from?
This come from the same guy.
Oh.
So we all work that night shift.
Oh.
This tea. Hold up. This tea.
Instead of Gary with the T, is Marcus with the T.
This tea. But we all worked at night. He worked at night. His girlfriend worked at night, and he had a so-called friend who worked at night. And this is how I watch people, right? Mm-hmm. But I know that this friend mess with women. That's what he do. Mm-hmm. He mess with.
It don't matter.
It don't matter.
Okay.
So I know this is how he operate. So this guy allowed the guy to stay with him. Now, one night she didn't come to work. Him and the dude came to work. So all of a sudden the dude gets sick. He need to go home. That ain't the bad part. He drive his car.
The friend car?
Yes.
Okay.
He drive the friend car and go home.
So he did that so he won't have a way to get home.
And guess who picked him up the next morning?
He did.
And her. This tea. Ain't no way. No. Hey, if you sick, you better go out there and go to sleep in the car. What do I look like allowing you to go to my house?
In my car, so I can't get home.
And ain't nobody gonna think nothing because they gonna see your car there.
Right.
This tea.
Yeah, they playing that one good.